Hey, y'all, welcome to today's episode of the Squad Podcast. I am your host, Coach Tocha Moore, and as always, I'm excited to be here with y'all. How we doing? What's up with you, Squad? Hope you've had an amazing week so far. Want to check in with you. Hope all is well with you and yours. I'm so excited about this episode today, y'all. Motherhood is one of the greatest gifts God has ever given me, but nobody warned me about the tightrope walk, holding space for my children's growth without making sure that I lose sight of my own. Nobody told me what that tightrope walk would look like. And so today I'm so excited to share with you some things that are on my heart about motherhood and what that looks like for me right now in this season. But before we do that, how are we doing with our goals? Did we reach them? Have we accomplished the things that we said that we would? If not, okay. If we did, let's give ourselves a big old hug and say, I love you, girl. Good job. If we didn't, it's okay. We can reset. We can start again. We can do all the things. All right. Let's get into this episode. So, if you're anything like me right now, you are in the muck of going back to school. Okay. We're in the full season, in full swing of what I think is beautiful chaos, for lack of a better term. And so today we're going to talk about that and what it looks like for us as moms. And so I want to ask you all a question. When was the last time you made time for you without feeling guilty about it? So on today's episode, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be full of honesty and hope, y'all. Raising kids is hard. Why they don't give us a handbook about it? My children are going back to school next week. And with that, it's like a mix of emotions. Anybody ever been there? You're excited and you're still like, oh my gosh. At the same time, my youngest two are going into junior and sophomore year. My mama heart is happy. And at the same time, my mama heart is sad. Because it's like they're growing up and doing the things that are the natural progression of life. And my babies are growing up. So it's that bittersweet mix of emotions, the pride, the nostalgia, and maybe even a little bit of relief because we're thankful and we're excited and we're grateful that they're growing. And it still is a moment of reflection. And so sometimes I catch myself either rushing to feel the quiet or guilty because I'm enjoying the peace of it all. And so I think it's important for us to remember that it's okay to have the emotions of both sides. You're happy and you're excited. And at the same time, you might be a little bit sad because your babies are growing up. They're becoming bigger humans, pre-teen. Maybe you're in the infant stage and they're going to be a toddler and then preschool and then it goes fast. If I'm honest, it really does. You look up and you have these pre-young adults in your home. And my oldest is moved. I've shared that on here a couple of times. And so it's like she's a young woman out here, hopefully, soon dating and all the things, and you know what comes with that. So it's just like, and they need you in different ways as they get older. So I think for me, it's realizing that I'm still mom and I don't have to mother them like I did when they were in preschool. Does that make sense? And so maybe it's some relief in knowing that they're going to school and you're going to have those few hours to yourself. Or maybe you're feeling like I feel a little guilty for having that time to myself. Either way, no matter where you are in that, I'll just encourage you that it's okay. You're a mom, you need the moments, the teachers need the income, is how I like to say it. I'm helping them with their check, right? And so bittersweet emotions are okay. Maybe you're excited and you're thankful and grateful because now you get into the routine. I know for me, school creates that routine, and I think I like that. My daughter told me I'm a type A person, and I would agree with that. I like the kind of, even though it gets to be what I call, like I said earlier, beautiful chaos, the ripping and the running. But my middle drives now, so I don't have to rip and run as much. And so it's like, wow, I don't have to rip and run as much. Now, what do I do with my time, right? Because I'm not having to be actively taking them places because now they're able to drive to them. And so then there's that, like, oh, wow, I don't have to take them. They can hop in the car and go. So that's definitely different. My friend was like, what are you going to do with your time? I'm like, you know what? That's a wonderful question because I don't know. But I'm navigating it. A lot of it is by myself, which is weird because when they're out, my husband's not here. So it's just like, wait, I'm here by myself. Wherever you are in that, it's okay. If you're enjoying the peace and quiet, don't feel guilty. And if you are a little overwhelmed with the fact that they're no longer with you, I'm gonna give you a mama hug because I know how that is. Maybe it's their first day of kindergarten and you shed some tears. It's okay to cry. I did it. I'm gonna raise my hand. I don't know if anybody else will be honest and say that I cried when mine went to school. It's a transition, especially the baby. I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm just a mom. And my friend was like, no, you're not just a mom. You are their mom and you're you too. All right. So I want to encourage you. It's okay wherever you are in the middle and muck of that. Okay. The other thing that I want to share with y'all is motherhood changes with each season. And so you're going to shift from how you have to mother them as a baby and a toddler, doing everything for them, making every meal, bottles, pampers, don't touch this, don't do that, let me wipe your face. When they're learning to go by themselves, let me help you. Like all the things that come along with that, they need your undivided attention all the time when they're in that space. And then there's this stage of teenagers, and it's like, huh? They don't need you to wipe their face. They don't need you to make their meals. I just had to pick up an order on my way home for my daughters who ordered on their app some Taco Bell. So where I might be like, oh, I'm going to go home and cook, they're like, oh, we already ate, right? So it becomes a different season. And the way that you have to parent them is going to shift in each one of those seasons. And then from teens, they're young adults. Junior and sophomore year is crazy. It is literally blowing my mind. And at the same time, I'm like, wow, like we've brought them from little bitty babies that we brought home from the hospital to these young women that are becoming, And now, as my role has evolved, I'm less of a caretaker, so to speak, and more of a cheerleader. They don't need me for every moment of their life. I'm not saying we're not still parenting because we do. But like when they were a toddler, I had to be there for every second of every day. Now I'm in a season where I can step back everything I did for the caretaker role and be their cheerleader in their corner, their biggest advocate, a listening ear, voice of reason sometimes. It reminds me of how God is with us. He gives us guidance and space to grow. And that's what this season looks like for me. The space of giving guidance along the way and allowing them some space to grow, making decisions. And I'm like, what? And then it's like, give them space to grow. Give them the space to do the things that you've taught them. Does that make sense? So now, as a mom, I get to kind of stand back a little bit and give them the space to grow into the young women that I've done my best to help them become. Me and their dad, when I say this, we have done our best to help them be. And it's cool and heart racing at the same time. And I'm so thankful for all the seasons of motherhood. And not that it's over by any means, but now I get to kind of be a cheerleader in the corner, like, you got it, got it. Like when they took the first steps and you were like, oh, you got it. Now I'm like, oh, you're going out into the real world. You got it though. You got it. At the same time, your heart is like, and you know that you've given them everything that they need for them to accomplish what they're meant to be and who they're meant to become. And so that's the beautiful part of it, is that they're going out into this world eventually. And my prayer is that they are out there being everything they're meant to be. The next thing I want to go to, when I thought about this episode, I remember when they were younger, and even sometimes now, letting the mom guilt of using that time that they were away for me and not them. I'm gonna lean in. Y'all, it's okay for you to use the time that they're at school and away from you for you. I know that there's a cultural and an internal pressure for you to always be doing for your children, and that we should refrain from self-care. Taking care of you allows you to show up for them. Okay, it's important. If you want to go get a massage, go get a massage. If you want to go out and buy yourself something, go buy yourself something. I love coffee. So sometimes just going out, sitting and have a good old cup of coffee with just me is cool. It's what I need. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Isn't that what the song says? Y'all, it's okay for you to sit and take a moment to pour back into you. Okay. I know for me, I love massages. And so sometimes when I can, I go and get one just for me, not for anyone else, for any other reason, for me. And don't feel guilty about doing that. If you go sit and have you some Chick-fil-A without them, it's okay. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. If you go out to eat with them, I know I used to do that. We'll go out to eat and be like, oh, well, let me get the girl something. No, you don't have to do that. And don't feel bad if you don't. Or go in the store and be like, oh, the girls would love this. That's not what you came in here for. You came in here to buy you something. I know I did it all the time, but go in there with the intention of spending money on myself and come out with nothing for me and everything for them. Y'all, the only way that we can pour from the cup is if we fill the cup. Okay? Fill the cup. Then pour from the cup. So fill your cup however you need to. If it's sitting on the couch and you know the laundry needs to be folded for a day, sit on the couch. I know I had to do that. I had two, a year and a half apart. Y'all, I had to sit on that couch some days like, you know what? I see that laundry. And I know this house needs to be clean. And today I just need to sit here because when they get home, they need my undivided attention. They want to tell me about their day and all the things that happened and their friend that was mean to them and that they played on the playground and they spilled their juice at lunch and they're going through play by play of all the things. Then by the time they get home, if they have activities, mine did, they have to go to their activity. So while they're at school, I'm trying to cook dinner and clean. It's like, when you going to get a second to just breathe, to take a deep breath? So I had to honor days when I'm like, I'm not doing that today. And that's what I called them. I'm not doing that today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. You might have to implement that. Maybe tomorrow, not today. And it's okay for you to say, I'm not getting to that today. Honor filling the cup so you can pour from the cup. Maybe during the hours that when they're at school, that's the time that you pursue the dream that you had to go back to school. Take a class, rest without apology. Listen, this is what I like to call, see this time as a God-given reset. He said, here you go, girl. You need some time, here you go. They're going to school. And maybe you don't take the whole day. I know for me, it was as soon as I got back in the morning, I went for my walk. I did things that helped me clear my mind. You know, when I dropped them off at school, that was my time to get my coffee, go for my walk. And then when I came in the house, it's like, okay, let me see what I can, clean up really quick. What can I go ahead and set out for dinner, thaw, whatever. Use the time. God said, here you go. Here's time for you to reset. Use it wisely, y'all. All right. The third thing that I want to talk about on today is, y'all, give yourself the grace to parent imperfectly alongside with your children. Listen, y'all, listen to Coach T. Perfection in parenting is impossible and not the goal. We're not meant to be perfect parents. How can we be? What I do believe we are meant to do is model humility, repentance, and growth to our children. Don't be too proud to say, I got that wrong. I am sorry. And let them see the moments of growth. If you're someone who always loses their temper at the littlest things, let your children watch you grow into a person that doesn't always let the little things bother them. Parenting is a discipleship journey for you and your children. It's for the parent and the child. Yes, they're going to model what we do. That is why humility, we come from a place of saying, I don't have all the answers. Repentance, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have reacted to you that way. And growth. My heart and my prayer is I love to journal, and I've gotten away from it this summer, if I'm honest. And I was just sitting today going through cleaning out some cabinets, and I found like my books, and I'm like, okay, I've got to start this again because one, it fills my tank. And two, I want my children to maybe one day be able to read my thoughts for the day. I write prayers for them and things that I'm asking God for them. And so my heart is that it will be something that they can read one day if they choose to. And if not, it still gives them the space to watch me model, reading my word, writing about God and how faithful he's been to our family so that they can go through one day and read it and be like, oh man, like I didn't know mom was praying this for me. Oh man, look at God has done this for our family. So it's a journey, y'all, that they're going to see and watch and know we're not going to get it all right. Stop. I know for me, I held myself to such a high expectation of getting it all right. The goal is to steward it in the best way that you can, to steward parenting in the best way that you can. It's a discipleship journey for us and them. They don't come with a handbook. They don't come with any instructions. One of my favorite books in the Bible is Ecclesiastes. And my favorite chapter is Ecclesiastes, the third chapter. And so I want to encourage you with Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Embrace this school season as a purposeful one for you and your children. To everything there is a season. Y'all, you're going to look up. I remember my daughter does dance, and I was like, oh my goodness. And we were running around, at a competition, and one of her instructors walked past me, and I was like, it's been a day, been a long weekend. He said, yeah, and you only have two more. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. Or I said, maybe I said it's been a year. And he was like, yeah, and you only get two more. And I was like, I didn't think about that. You're right. And so wherever you are on your journey with your children, the year that has passed is one less year you'll have with them in your home. Longevity, we pray for that. Of course, we don't know God's plan, and so it's just like, you're right. And honestly, I have taken some, I don't want to say time away, but I stepped down from a role that I had because I needed the capacity to be there for them as well. Because this happened to me before, the conversation with the instructor. It was the epiphany that they're going to be out of our home soon, building their lives. And so for me, I didn't want to miss the moments. Y'all, I know we have to work, we have to pay bills, we have to do all the things. And in whatever way you can, don't miss the moments. My oldest is gone and we see her few and far between. And so it's like, cherish the moments. And as my two are finishing high school and going on to live their lives, I'm thankful for the moments. We were looking at pictures of them today from when they were younger, and it seems so long ago. The years go by faster maybe than we would like, or at the pace we would like at the same time. Embrace this season as a purposeful one for you and your child. I started writing out an affirmation today for my children. You lead, you don't follow. And I'm going to send it to my goddaughter too. You are light in the middle of darkness. You are smart. You are kind. Like all these things. And I know they're older and I don't care. I'm still going to give it to them on the first day of school. I'm send it to them. It's a season, y'all. And you're going to look up and it's going to be over. So embrace it as a purposeful one. In what ways can you grow through their school season? In what ways can you challenge them to grow through their school season? I know for me, it's important with my daughters, I like to set goals or intentions. What do you intend to do this school year? So that they walk in with like, okay, this is something I want to reach. This is something I want to accomplish. And that's always in the back of their head. If they don't say it to themselves every day, that it's that thought like, hey, I said I was going to do this. Let me go out there and try, do my best. Your mom identity is not lost in motherhood. You are still a woman with dreams, a calling, and purpose. And the best gift you can give your children is to show them what it looks like to fully live your life, your dreams, your aspirations. Y'all, do me a favor. Don't forget to hit that button. Subscribe to this. Also, do me a favor. Tell all the mamas out there. Send it to them. Encourage them. Send this to someone who you know needs to hear it. Like, it's okay for you to sit on the couch for a little bit. It's okay for you not to feel guilty when your children are at school when you go get ice cream without them. It's okay for you to let them see you not get it all right, because then they will learn they don't have to get it all right. Y'all, we're going into the school year happy, healthy, and whole is what I like to say. Please encourage yourself to know that it's okay for you to take a minute when you need it. Don't feel mama guilt about being with you while they're at school. It's okay. You need it. Y'all, thank y'all so much. You know what we're about to do this episode? We have not done this in a while. Rapid fire. So I have the questions. I'm about to read them. I don't know what my team came up with, but we'll see. All right, so here we go. Coffee first thing or the kids first thing? Honestly, I wake the kids up and then I go get my coffee. If I'm honest, okay? I get them up. I come upstairs real quick. You know what? Yeah, I come upstairs real quick. I wake them up and then I go back down and make my coffee. What's one snack you're guilty of putting in your kids' lunchbox and then stealing Cheez-Its. I don't really get, well, I did last year, make their lunch sometimes, but I love Cheez-Its. I'll be in there munching on them while I'm putting them in the Ziploc snacks. Bye. And so Cheez-Its are it for me. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. I actually bought some at the grocery store today. Okay. Back to school shopping, hate it or love it. This year, honestly, I loved it because they did most of it online and they went to the store themselves. So mama didn't have to do nothing. So this year, actually, I loved it. We did go to a few stores together, but for the most part, yeah. So it was them. All right. What's your go-to mom soundtrack in the car? Beyonce. You won't break my soul, break my soul. No, we love some Beyonce. We love old school music. My kids get down, they jam to that. And then worship music, we love worshiping. I try to set the tone for our day with that when we get in the car. And then every now and again, we throw something in that we can just jam. But now I don't get to drive them to school, y'all. Last year was my last year. They are going to be taking themselves in the morning because my middle and baby, my middle is able to drive on her without me in the car, and the baby is able to drive with me in the car. So now they're going to ride together and go to school. So mama does not have to drive them this year, which is crazy. Yeah, that makes me sad. All right, last one. I think if you could have 2 kid-free hours right now, what would you do with them? Sit on the couch and watch a movie and maybe eat an ice cream bar, a Yasso ice cream bar. That'd be, honestly, it's a little different for me because, they're older and they can go on their own. But honestly, just sit and watch a movie. That's what I do. Yeah. Mine are older and leaving me behind. No, I'm just kidding. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing to watch them become young women. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you are out there fighting for her. You're healing, you're evolving, and you are reclaiming all the things the enemy tried to take from you. I appreciate y'all taking a moment, taking some time to stop by. Make sure that you hit that button so you'll be in the know. On next week, my goal is to talk about marriage. Now that we've talked about parenthood, my hope is that my husband will join me. We'll see. If not, it'll be your girl on here talking about it. But I feel like I'll be able to get him on here. But y'all, do me a favor. Go out there and become the best version of you because your purpose connects to someone else. They can't walk in theirs until you're walking in yours. And as always, squad, fight for her because you're worth it. I will see y'all later. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't, you go to my website, TochaMoore.com. Y'all know how to spell my name, TochaMore.com, and subscribe, y'all. I've got a fun event coming up in February. I had to move it from November. Life was lifing. So February, 2-day live in-person event, combat ready, fighting for her, 2-day conference. Please don't miss out on the opportunity to be here in Myrtle Beach, experience fun, entertainment, all the things. If you haven't been to one of my events, you are in for a special treat. For those of y'all who have, you already know what it is. We are going to have a good time. We're going to have some fun. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in, squad. I will see y'all later. Bye.